What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my hands-on and first impressions video of the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G. So let's get started. Now before I show you a variety of different things about the actual phone itself, let's take a look and see what all comes included here in the box. So here is the box for the A53 5G, and you've probably noticed that the box is pretty skinny, and the reason for that is because there is no charging adapter included. And as far as what actually is included, it's pretty minimalist. We have this packet, and then in the packet is a SIM card removal tool. We have a double-sided USB-C cable, which is nice to have, and we have a quick start guide for the device. Now with the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G, we're getting a very large 6.5-inch display. Now this display features Corning Gorilla Glass 5. It is a Super AMOLED display, and it has a 120 Hz refresh rate. So a nice premium touch there to have that faster refresh rate. It definitely makes the interface look and feel very smooth when navigating around. And in general, this is a fantastic looking display. Now the display is a 1080p display. We have a PPI of 405. We have a 20:9 aspect ratio. So a more narrow but taller form factor, but at the same time, it is very consistent with many of the other devices that Samsung has launched over the last couple of years. And we're getting an 85.4% screen to body ratio. So pretty small bezels all throughout. Now up top here, we do have a hole punch for the front facing camera, and that front camera is 32 megapixels. Now stay tuned for my full video review of this device here in the channel, as I'll be showing you a variety of different photo and video samples from this device. Now the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G is offered in two different storage configurations. You can get it in either 128 gigabytes or 256. And this device also supports microSD card expansion. So if you do want to offload some photos and videos, for example, then it's really nice that you can put a microSD card into the phone. Now there is no wireless charging with the Galaxy A53 5G, but the device does have a fingerprint sensor built into the display. So let's give that a try right now. Nice and quick. Let's try that one more time. Very accurate. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. And having that in-display fingerprint sensor definitely makes this phone feel like a premium device, despite it being a mid-range smartphone. Now, in addition to having the fingerprint sensor built into the display, the Galaxy A53 5G also supports facial recognition, so I do appreciate that they do give us multiple options here when accessing the phone. Now I already talked about the front-facing camera, which is 32 megapixels, but on the rear of the phone, we actually have a quad camera setup. So we have a 64 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera that can capture images at up to 123 degrees, we have a 5 megapixel depth sensing camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera for close-up images. Now here's how things look on the camera app, and this is with the main camera right now. Then from here, we can switch over to the ultra-wide-angle camera to fit a lot more content into the frame. The ultra-wide camera is especially helpful if you're capturing images outdoors. For example, if you want to take a picture of a large building, or maybe a large tree, or even a mountain, it definitely comes in handy having that ultra-wide camera so that you can really capture a lot of your surroundings. Then from here, we can go over to the More tab to access the macro camera to take close-up images that, as you can see, are nice and crisp and clear. So certainly a pretty cool feature to have there. In addition to that, we have portrait mode on this device, as you probably could imagine, but we have portrait mode at the rear camera, and we can flip around to the front-facing camera as well to take portrait selfies. And if you want to, you can also take standard selfies as well. And we even have the ability to take a group selfie, so that's pretty nice. It crops out a little bit, so certainly very convenient there. Now video recording with the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G maxes out at 4K with the front-facing camera and 4K with the rear camera. And with this device, you're getting either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM based on the amount of storage that you have here with the phone. So the 128 gigabyte model of the device gives us 6 gigabytes of RAM, and then the 256 gigabyte model of the phone gives us 8 gigabytes of RAM. And the processor that we're getting here with the phone is the Samsung Exynos 1280. Now, of course, since this is my first impressions video, I haven't had a ton of time to test out the phone, but I did run a Geekbench 5 benchmark test, and I'm really impressed with the scores I got from the test. So you can see here, I got a single core score of 741, and then a multi-core score of 1878. And that is really good for a mid-range Android smartphone. I'm certainly very excited to continue testing out this device and getting a better feel for this processor, but from what I've seen so far, this phone performs extremely well, and definitely it's going to be adequate for pretty much everybody out there. Unless you're really spending a ton of time constantly on your phone, maybe it's a large part of your business possibly, then yeah, you could justify spending more for a higher tier Samsung device like an S22 or even an S22 Ultra. But for the vast majority of people out there that just want a decent Android smartphone, you're definitely going to be getting good enough performance with this device. Again, I'm really impressed with the type of performance we're getting from the processor here. And then with the Galaxy A53 5G, we do have a 5,000 milliamp hour internal battery, and the phone supports fast charging at up to 25 watts, which is also very impressive. Now, as far as software goes, the phone is running Android 12 with Samsung's One UI 4.1 interface, and so far, it does seem pretty similar to One UI 3, which is actually a good thing, especially if you're coming from another Samsung phone, as the experience that you'll be getting here likely will be very familiar to you. And then with this device, we do get NFC, and then it also features an IP67 dust and waterproof resistance rating, which means that you can take this device underwater for up to 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. Another awesome thing about the Galaxy A53 5G is that it supports stereo audio. So if you're playing music or watching a video, for example, on this device, you're going to be getting audio coming out of both the earpiece and main speaker on the bottom, which isn't always the case for lower end and even mid-range smartphones. So I'm really glad that we are getting stereo audio here with the A53 5G. But now that we've gone over the main features and highlights of this phone, let's take a closer look at the actual hardware. Now, I already talked quite a bit about the front panel here, but we do have very small bezels all throughout. Even the hole punch for the front-facing camera is very small, so certainly not intrusive at all. So I really like the design of this phone. The display is incredible. You can probably kind of tell even through the video how good the display looks, but it really looks excellent. Compared to any mid-range smartphone that I've used recently, this device really does have the best display I've seen. And if you're going to compare this phone to the iPhone SE 2022, for example, that device doesn't even have a 1080p display, let alone it being Super AMOLED. Now, taking a look at the left side of the phone, we have nothing. Then on the right side of the phone, we have volume up and volume down. We also have the power button. Then up top here, we have the noise canceling microphone. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card, microphone, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and we have the speaker. And then on the back of the device, we have the camera module, the Samsung logo, and that's pretty much it. Now, I did get this device in the color peach, which I think is pretty unique. It kind of has a gold look to it in a way, and Samsung is offering this device in several other colors as well. So let me know in the comment section below which color you prefer for the Galaxy A53 5G. But I'm a really big fan of this material on the back of the device. The first thing is, it looks really premium, even despite being plastic. The second thing I like about it is that it doesn't pick up any fingerprints at all, which is really great. I'm really not a big fan of devices that have a reflective back for that very reason. So this is awesome that you can use the phone and you're really never going to have any fingerprints on the back of it. And then the camera module looks pretty cool as well. I like how it has this raised up look to it, and in general, this device really has a very sleek appearance to it, despite being a mid-range smartphone. Keep in mind, this device has an MSRP of just $449, whereas Samsung sells other devices that are well over $1,000, and I really don't feel like with those phones, you're getting double the value that you're getting with this one. So Samsung really is bringing us quite a bit here with the Galaxy A53 5G. Now, one disappointing feature that has been removed, and you've probably noticed it already, is that there is no 3.5mm headphone jack with this device. And that certainly is something that I wish we did have here, especially since I don't feel like Samsung really had a good reason to remove it in the first place. But this concludes my hands-on and first impressions video of the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G. This is a really exciting new smartphone from Samsung, and I'm definitely excited to create a variety of different videos about this phone for the channel over the next few weeks and months. But I hope you liked this video, subscribe to the channel. But this is Kevin here. This is the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and have a great rest of your day.